there are conditions where plasma proteins will leak into the interstitial fluid, okay, into the tissues. And they can't stay there. You got to get them back. But you can't take them back through the capillaries. So where do they go? The lymphatic system. Moves them back into the blood. Okay? So those are all the positive things. One of the negative things, of course, is that you get cancerous cells in the lymphatic system. And they're going to spread all over the body, and that's pretty much it. We have had one cadaver that had metastatic cancer. It supposedly had cancer, I think it was somewhere down the pelvic region. By the time we got it, all the organs were cancerous. I mean, it was, you're going to see all the organs in this, that time, we took all the organs, the intestines and everything, we just picked them up and moved them out of the body and didn't even think about them. We couldn't study them because they were hard as a rock. And when they're cancers, they'd be very hard, so we couldn't do anything with them. Okay, anyway. So let's talk about where all this begins. So the capillaries, the lymphatic capillaries begin as blind-ended structures right along with all the other capillaries in the tissues. So you can see them coming up right there. Okay. And they are extremely leaky. Okay? They're way on the leaky side. Anything and everything that's in the interstitial fluid can get into a capillary, a lymphatic capillary. Okay? So big plasma proteins, no problem. All this excess fluid, no problem. So we're talking about an upside down tree of sorts. That's all the top part of the tree. It starts there, and then of course all those empty into vessels, empty into larger vessels, into larger vessels, and so forth, and so on. Okay? And if we were to look at any place in the body, yeah, all these lymphatic vessels here, and you'll see every place in the body's got lymph nodes. So the vessels are going through the lymph nodes. Okay, they're along the way. Large intestine, they're all over. They're just a sampling, basically. Anywhere you go. Okay? The lymph nodes are the basic organs there. And we'll talk about another organ. But basically, every one of those, all of those vessels empty into two vessels, two major vessels. The left for thoracic duct and the right. They're found right here, the back part of the thoracic cavity, and we still can't find them. Okay. This is, you're supposed to be learning the anatomy of the lymphatic system, but you're not going to identify anything. On the models, I mean, yeah, there's a few lymph nodes you'll probably see on the models, but they're not on your checklist. There's nothing on your checklist for the lymphatic system. Okay? But you're going to learn this and kind of learn some facts about it, but there's not much anatomy that you're going to point to things. Okay? And it's very hard because they're very tender. I mean, they tear apart easily. Okay? But notice that the left thoracic duct drains the entire lower body, plus the left half of the upper body. All of the lymph goes into that one vessel. and the right upper half goes to the right. Okay? And remember, there's no pump. All that has to be done through muscular contractions, activities of the other organs pushing on these. Okay? And they empty right into where the internal jugular vein and the subclavian vein join, right there, where they get. And we know, it's right there. And still, we've never been very successful at finding it in the cadaver. And trying to actually get there, because we have a really good cadaver this year where the internal jugular and subclavian, where they form the brachiocephalic, it's perfect. But we didn't get that, okay? All right, so this is the lymphatic system. And a couple more things here. I might have mentioned this at one time, I don't remember. The spleen is never on one of my checklists. 4 things been left off every checklist. I never will ever point to the spleen and ask you to name it. It's put into the lymphatic chapter because it's very much like a lymphatic organ, sort of like a lymph node, a great big lymph node, except it filters blood, not lymph. Okay, so it's normally included there, and we just basically leave it alone. You're going to be learning splenic artery, splenic vein, so you'll know where that is, and you're going to see it's big in our cadaver, big. But this lymph node is the major organ. And it's got the outer layer, it's got an inner layer. I'll digress here for just a moment, to use an analogy in this. I don't know how many of you are going to the Texas game in Dallas. Be prepared. I went to Dallas a couple weeks ago. I think they've got another place where they're going to put your 2 lanes down to 1. That's happened a lot of times. You go Interstate 35, goes from 2 lanes to 1. What happens at that point? Congestion. A bunch of cars going very slowly, okay? Horrible congestion. Happened many times going to Dallas. Look at this lymph node. The lymph is coming in through afferent vessels. Looks like 4 of them. And it leaves through an efferent vessel 1. Okay? 4 to 1. I'm not sure that's, I looked and tried to find out if that's the normal, and seems to be. 4 vessels in, 1 vessel out. So what happens to the lymph when it goes into the lymph node? Congestion. Okay, it's got 4 highways going in and only 1 coming out. Now I understand, I realize that lymph is not flowing very fast anyway, but it's going even slower when it goes to the lymph nodes. Congestion is a good thing for this. Not good for the trip to the Dallas, but this is good because what's happening is that it's slowing down. It gives the lymphocytes time to search and destroy anything that's foreign in the blood and the lymphocytes as it goes through there. So that's a good thing. Okay. So anyway, that's the little lymph node, and pretty much it. So be ready for Monday. Cadaver material, cadaver models.